The Detroit Lions go to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are only 2-3. The Lions have bounced back very nicely from their opening weekend loss to the Packers, and they are now 4-1. Is that correct?
Who, the Lions?
Yes.
The Lions
Yeah.
are 3-1. They've already
3-1.
had their
They've
bye.
had their bye. Okay, that's what I wasn't sure about.
Oh,
They are
that's crazy.
3-1. But Kansas City is favored by 2.5 at home, so we're looking at yet another neutral field pick'em here. Some great games we're looking at this weekend. But key points for this game, guys.
I'm a liar. The Lions are 4-1.
Oh yeah, because I knew that.
Yeah.
My bad.
They only bye weeks last week. Key points to the game. Chiefs. I think it fully is on the Chiefs side here because I fully expect the Lions to just show up ready to play because they don't care. They don't care who they're playing. They're not afraid of Kansas City. They've already won this game 2 years ago. But Kansas City's got to make up for a 14-point choke, for another one-score loss, which is now 0-3, as Sanders pointed out in our prior show today. They've got to answer the bell. They have to answer these mojo questions again. Again, we're bringing this up for like the fourth time of just why is Chris Jones not trying? Why are we complaining to the refs so much? Why is Patrick Mahomes making a rookie mistake and getting baited by Devin Lloyd and then missing a tackle and letting Devin Lloyd go 99 yards for a touchdown when you have Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown on the field? Like, they've got to answer those questions at home. They're the favorites somehow. That makes no sense to me considering they weren't the favorite against the Ravens and they weren't the favorite against the Eagles. I don't understand the power ranking from that perspective. I think the Lions are playing better than those two teams were going into that game. And the Chiefs are playing worse than they were going into that game as well. So I don't understand that. But for me, all the onus is on Kansas City. Be productive again, the passing game like Mahomes was against the Jaguars last weekend. Convert, quit having penalties. That's a huge one. They had 13 last night against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
They've got to stop doing that. And I think all of the onus is on them because I would be shocked if the Lions struggle offensively and if they don't play with a ton of confidence and they don't play well on Sunday night. I would be shocked if that happened. They would really have stomach bug must have hit the team or something.
Yeah.
Like something like that would have to happen.
I agree. I think the Lions' offense should be able to get what they want. It's Chiefs' run defense that is not as good as it was last year. They're giving it the 5th most yards per rush in the league, and so it's should be a good game for David Montgomery. Should be a good game for Jahmyr Gibbs. And so then while the Chiefs have been pretty good in coverage, if they have to help in the run game, then you can open up and get creative with Amon-Ra. Maybe hit a big over the top play to Jameson Williams, stuff like that. So then can the Chiefs' offense continue to get stuff done? I think they can have some success in this game, to be honest. They passed the ball really well against Jacksonville. They just penalties killed them, and throwing the pick on the goal line killed them. But
Yeah.
Mahomes really, they had he was getting what he wanted. We talked about it in the recap of that game. He was picking apart that zone. So I think they can have some success there. It's hard to be crazy consistent as an offense if you cannot run the football. And yet again, last week Mahomes was the leading rusher. And at this point, it's kind of like, why would I trust them to start being able to run the ball? Because we're 5 weeks in and they can't do it yet. And Mahomes is not Lamar Jackson, but the Chiefs did a really great job about taking away the scrambles from Lamar Jackson. And so can they just do that to Mahomes again? And then there really is just no rushing attack for the Chiefs, and it's going to be all through the air. That's what I'm worried about for them. What are you looking at, Sanders?
Sorry, I was on.
No,
Twitter
you're good.
Again.
You're good.
Did you already talk about penalties? Because that's
did.
one thing.
Yes.
Did you see the Andrew McBride comment? He says the line is rigged. It's rigged for the Chiefs to be favored.
I don't know if it's rigged. I just think for some reason they think the Chiefs are better than the Lions.
Yeah. Another thing I will say as
Which
far as the odds go is like the
Plays
Lions
neutral.
having played 4 opponents in a row who were probably, they played the Bears. Bears are not bad, but then they played the Ravens, and that Ravens defense, they dropped 38 on them. How much does that mean? They play the Browns, score the win 34-10, hold the Browns to 10 points. What does that mean? And they play the Bengals and win 37-24. Maybe it's they feel like the Lions haven't played like a true. They like view the Chiefs higher than those teams, and so that's why they're with the home field. They're giving them the
But
nod.
They don't, because they have the Ravens. They had the Ravens as favored against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I don't understand it. The Lions are playing well too. You could say, you're saying like, what does that mean for those games? They kind of dominated the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Really made Lamar look bad. Had 6 sacks against Lamar. Contained
For sure.
his rushing really, really well. Against the Bears, they dominated the Bears. They scored 55-plus points, which is, I think it's the highest amount of points scored by any team this year in a game. Against the Browns, that was the number 1 opponent yards per game defense. That was the best defense from a yardage perspective in the league. They scored 34 points. They really got what they wanted. And then last week against the Bengals, the Bengals had quit. The game was literally moved off of national television because it was so bad, because the Lions were dominating, and the Bengals scored 2 touchdowns late to make it look closer than it actually was. So I think the Lions are playing really, really well right now. We just saw Kansas City go 2-3 in 5 games, and their 2 wins are against Lamar and the Ravens,
And Giants.
and the Giants. So I don't know if we can, like I was saying earlier, this is not a great team. This is a good team. And they can show flashes of their dynastic run. They have showed that in pretty much all of their games. They've showed at least some kind of flash of that. But in all of those games, they've also shown, man, what in the world? Kelsey dropping a ball, goes off his hands to pick. It's the reason you lose the Eagles game. Against the Chargers, like, you just get torn apart by Justin Herbert in week 1. And then last week, Mahomes gets baited on the 1-yard line. And the penalties has been a huge thing. They haven't been clean. They're a good team right now. They're not a great team. I think the Lions are playing like a great team. So it's still, like, even if it was rigged, which it is, everything is scripted. So I still don't make sense for the Lions to not be favored.
Sure.
And for the fact that the spread has not moved really at all.
Maybe it's also a Mahomes back against the wall kind of game.
In fact, the spread opened at 1.5 for Kansas City and moved up to 2.5.
Crazy.
So people are betting on Kansas City.
Yes.
So
That's probably why back against the wall game, they think he's going to get it.
yeah,
We can pick this game, though, and I'll go first. I agree with everything you've been saying, JP. I have the Lions winning this game with the prediction of the Chiefs lose this game and then just go on a bit of a heater.
Yeah, Rashee
And make
Rice
a run.
returns after this week.
Rashee Rice comes back. They get a nice little Raiders-Commanders back-to-back.
Yep.
The Raiders are really bad, and then the Commanders is a game he's like, we have to win that one, and they'll probably get it done. And then, it gets harder from there, but I think they'll pick up some steam in it.
yeah, you
and
go
we'll
to the Bills,
Well, yeah, but like
but then you get the bye week.
you get the bye week, and it's just like I think it's going to be a bit of a Chiefs run where they're back to playing great, and it's kind of like it don't really matter who we play. We're here to win, and we're going to get stuff done. So they lose this one.
Is
Turn
Rashee
it up.
Rice able to practice with the team while he's suspended?
No.
Okay, so he's not allowed in the facilities or anything.
No.
Okay.
Well, you have the Raiders game to ease him back in, and then you
Yeah.
can go from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch Geno just drop his nuts on him, and
Yeah,
it's just
Geno's
like
gonna
season over.
I agree. That's why I have drafted Rashee Rice in a couple of my leagues, and I cannot wait to insert him
I will also
next week.
pick Detroit. As someone who picked Kansas City to not win the division, the more they lose, the better I look.
All right, Jack, that's your one correct pick for the week. Although I assume you're picking the Commanders to
Bet.
cover, so I'll have to change my pick.
Okay. Fair enough.